In the previous video, we looked at how we worked with metric units in a DWG file. In this video, we're going to look at how we work with imperial units in a DWG file. It is a separate drawing, so make sure you download the drawing units-imperial.dwg. It is a differently set up DWG file, so be aware of that. When you open up the drawing, same drill again, where we make sure that we are in the Model tab. Check that bottom left of your AutoCAD screen, and then take a look at the 2D floor plan that we're looking at. You can see that the dimension annotation is different. It is in feet and inches. The units are imperial. You can also check if your units are imperial or not by looking at the coordinate readout on the status bar. Remember we set that up previously? Move the crosshair around and keep an eye on that coordinate readout. Can you see it's all in feet and inches as I move around like so? And also, if you come down here to the status bar, remember we set the units up on the status bar. So if I click the flyout now, can you see we're in the architectural setting in our units? Also, if I type units and just press enter, can you see there? There's our difference. Architectural, and it's set to that 1/16 of an inch accuracy, like so. Just click on cancel there to close the dialog box so that you don't change any settings. Like in the previous video, I'm going to zoom in now to that central grid square where the stairs are, like so. I'm going to go in there like that. And I'm going to go up to the draw panel now and click on the line command. Now I'm going to come into the drawing area. It's asking me for that first point of the line again, like it did in the previous video. So I'm going to pick a point about there and left click. Now, as I move around, can you see the dynamic input is prompting me for a distance, highlighted in blue, and an angle. Now, the angles are still set to decimal degrees in the units dialog box. I haven't changed those. But look at the distance, the length setting. It's in feet and inches. Now, this is where we have to type differently. If we're working with imperial units in an AutoCAD drawing, you don't just type in, like we did in the previous video, 2,500, like we would for, say, millimeters. I'm going to drag across to the right. My polar tracking is on, remember. It should still be on from the previous video. And you'll notice now, can you see I've got an option there in the blue highlighting to type in an imperial measurement. So you have to type in, so I want 8 feet, and then I put what is known as an apostrophe, like so. Then I spacebar, like so. And can you see it's done an 8 feet line, 8 foot long line. Now, I might have wanted to put some inches in there. How do I put inches in? Well, first thing we'll do, we'll just right click once and select undo on the shortcut menu. That will take us back to the start point again. Can you see? So we've lost that line segment, that 8 foot long line segment. So I'll drag horizontally to the right. And what I have to do is I have to type 8 feet dash. AutoCAD now thinks, oh, you're going to put some inches in there. And I'll put 6. And then it's like the speech quotations. Exactly the notation as if you were writing feet and inches with a pen and paper. So that is now 8 foot 6 inches. Press enter. That is now 8 foot 6 inches long, that line. If I drag downwards now, like we did with the millimeters in the previous video, as you can see, it's highlighting again. The tracking line is now vertical, the polar tracking. I want now 4 feet 2 inches. So I'm going to type in 4 apostrophe dash 2 and then quotation marks. Can you see what I mean? It's a different terminology, but you're still inputting a distance. It's just the notation is different. So what I do now is I press enter again, and you'll see there that it's done my vertical line. We can now cheat and use a bit of object snap tracking, hover over that endpoint snap there, drag vertically downwards until we get the intersection. You see the 2 green lines intersecting, left click, and then it's a right click and close, cheating again using the shortcut menu. So you can see there how the notation is very different when you're inputting units in an imperial drawing. Now, I've done it kind of the long-winded input way there. There are various keyboard shortcuts that you can use when you're working with feet and inches, and I suggest you go and investigate those if you're using imperial units in your drawings. But that's the basis of working with imperial units in a DWG file.